If you are a real Chad and not a virgin, make sure to check out our Chad coin, a crypto meme coin 100% ran by a community. Link to our Telegram is in bio. How I look explaining friends what peak performance means. Virgin westernized angel. According to all known laws of aviation, there is no way an angel should be able to fly. Its wings are too small to get its fat little body off the ground. Not very awe-inspiring, is it? Looks frail and soft, similar to a man with low testosterone. Is that a dress? Lol. Chad biblical angel. Burning wheels filled with eyes. Man, how cool is that? Able to move in all directions like a UFO. Nobody can hold eye contact with it. Would probably scare the hell out of you if you saw it. Actually looks unworldly. Virgin Chinese walk. China. Chad Honkan just stride. Honkan. It's 5:13 am. It's time for your half-hourly reminder that you are worthless. Shut the duck up, liar. Virgin movie monsters. Their movies should be labeled comedy, if you ask me. Don't even exist lol. Only catties get scared by these virgins. Get worse with every remake. If you close your eyes, they'll go away. Chad my father's belt makes an unforgettable noise as it passes through the sound barrier. Tonight, closing your eyes won't change anything. Will help me learn my lessons. Shiny and waxed at all times. Usually coupled with funny drinks. Happy Pride Month to these two couples. The virgin me wastes too much time indoors. No job. Can't cook. Extremely pale. Almost 18. Still doesn't have a girlfriend. Doesn't know anything about woodworking. Short-tempered. The Chad my dad is a butcher and loves grilling. Spends most of the week working to support our family. Taught me how to fish. Healthy tan from spending so much time outdoors. Always tries to be happy and supportive. Once built a shed because he felt like it. Virgin Picasso. Chad Dally. Chad Early Steve. When hurt, shouts manly oh. Eats 4 pork chops in matter of seconds. Uses bow assault gun. Manly beard. Virgin New Steve. Lame. Bone crack. Eats like some uncultured swine. A minute. Need to reload. Replaced by Stacy Alex. You are what you eat. Unhealthy choices. Healthy choices. I'm trying to be the right one for you. The right one doesn't have to try. The virgin cow. Can't be milked for 18 years. The Chad Night 11. Ouch. Futuristic. Short-term construction. International style. No identity. Modernist. Novelty or dated. Rejects the street. Synthetic materials. Chaos and equality. Unsustainable. Versus. Future-proof. Built to endure. Local or regional style. Identity. Tradition. Beautiful or enduring. Embraces street. Sense of place. Robust natural materials. Order and hierarchy. Sustainable. Virgin Fall Guy Anatomy. What the duck defs? Basically nightmare fuel. Might not even be functional in real life, despite the effort. Can't be seen in game. No proof they didn't retcon it for free advertising. Completely goes against the tone of the game. Chad Among Us Anatomy. Good job, devs. Cartoonish and appealing. Of course it's not functional in real life. Are you stupid? Proudly on display in game. Fits the game's visual style and tone perfectly. You're a wizard, Harry. I'm a what? The virgin grass on your side. Barely green. Poorly maintained. Just lets people step on it. Sparse. The Chad grass on the other side. Greener. No wizard wheeze. Stacked full of grass. Sharpness of grass a health hazard to others. The virgin no homo. The Chad nice clock bro. The virgin bulk text. Can be read easily. Boring and unoriginal. Everything typed is clearly visible. The default for almost everything. Color is emo and guy. The virgin. Deleted. Constantly not sure if they are right. Got ashamed of their own opinion after receiving negative feedback. Got thousands of upvotes, but deletes it for no apparent reason. Deletes it in the microsecond someone becomes hostile. The chat, removed. Isn't embarrassed of their opinion despite the negative feedback. Currently on the 36th alt account. Mods fear them. Doesn't delete despite being proven wrong. The Virgin taking responsibility for your actions versus the Chad CIA response. Admit nothing. Deny everything. Make counter accusations. The Chad medieval monk. Burns witches. Loves to get ducked up. Brews his own ale. Cool hood. Doodles nuts in ancient tomes. Rope for a belt. Self-flagellates. Lives in a dope monastery with other monk brothers. The Virgin modern priest. Afraid of guys. Thinks drinking is a sin. Weird collar insert. Kneels on pads when he prays to protect his knees. Lives alone in a studio apartment. Diddles kids. Virgin being a drawing. 2D. As flat as his personality. Not even a very good drawing. Old fashioned. Lame hair. Will only see on the internet. Chad existing in real life. 3D. Unique. Good quality photo. New. Cool and recognizable hair. Can meet in real life. Get to talk to Chad. Hello again. Chad. Our care team has concluded that you suffer from narcissistic personality disorder. Okay babe. Your place or mine? I'm not sure I understand. That would violate the APA's code of ethics. 8. See ya. Wait a second. I didn't say no. The Virgin Virginia. Named after some Virgin queen. Only speaks English. Failed colony. Isn't even a country. The Chad. Official languages include French and Arabic. Named after awesome lake. Is completely independent. The Inseal careful food fan. The Chad messy food enjoyer. The Virgin return to monk. The Chad returning to monk. Virgin Saturday Night Live Trump. Stupid wig. Cheeto in chief LMAO. Orange Man XD. Guy for Putin. Guy people gross. Coffee floor. Haha small hands lol. Poor head who submits to Goddess Pelosi. He bad. Chad actual Trump. Complains about having to flush multiple times due to his massive shuts at a White House meeting. Suggests injecting bleach as a cure for the Rona. Has enough power to defy science. Went bankrupt 4 times. Still ran on the economy and won. Uses Twitter as a weapon to slay his political opponents. If Ivanka weren't my daughter I'd be dating her. Reality TV star who became president of the United States. Businessman at heart. Tries to buy other countries. The Virgin BRR Army. Colorless. Boring characters. No merch. Both are mentally retarded. Already boring. Hate each other. Entire punchline is haha thing. Go BRRR. The Chad Virgin vs Chad. Punchline different every time. Colors. Requires effort to make. Timeless classic. Merch. Has several fanfics. Love. The Virgin Nick willed at the end of Zootopia. Clothing is boring and has no personality. Sunglasses hide his eyes. Works in interest of the state and big corporations. I accidentally drew him smaller Chad. Oops. The Chad Nick willed at the beginning of Zootopia. Master of tax evasion. Had balls to admit it to a cop. Stunning green eyes. Stylish. Colorful clothing. Has a cool sidekick or homie named Finnick who he kissed goodnight. To be fair, Finnick did treat him to bite his face off afterward. Looks out for number 1. Sly and cunning. The Virgin Soy Boy vs Yes Chad. Yes Chad clearly, based on OG Chad. Yes Chad has less of a vocabulary than Groot. Soy isn't even bad for you. The whole estrogen thing is like a myth. I bet OG Chad eats plenty to stay healthy. Lame attempt at modern edgy hairstyle. Beard is probably hiding a weak chin to be honest. Can't see bulge. The Chad Virgin vs Chad. OG. Classic. Absurd. Beautiful, unique, and geometric hairstyle. Comic Sans. They ultimately get along in the end. I mean, I really don't need to explain why this is better, we all know it. The Virgin grew of Elaine because he has mommy issues. Everyone just feels bad for him. Boring design. Nose sticks out most. Made by one of the most infamous animation studios. Minions are incredibly annoying. Doesn't even make his own inventions. The Chad Megamind. Of Elaine from being raised by prisoners, but is a good person by nature. Everyone either fears or respects him. Interesting and eye-catching design. Made by the same studio that made Shrek. Minion is a lovable character. Builds everything he has with his own 2 hands. Virgin panicking while choking. Makes everyone panic as well. His last words will be indecipherable gurgling noises. What a catty. Kinda cringe to be honest. Chad accepting fate. Knows it's his time to go. Ice quietly, manly. Gets a deeper understanding of the universe and the meaning of life in his last moments. The Binge live action remake relies on nostalgia instead of being something fresh and creative. Associates itself with live action despite being entirely computer generated. Will probably look dated in the future. No eyebrows equals no emotion. Has the color palette of Call of Duty. Main character voiced by some generic rapper. The Chad 2D animation. Inspired by one of Shakespeare's best works. Held title of highest grossing animated film for almost 20 years straight. Animated by Disney's B-Team. Still looks glorious to this day. Can tell their exact emotions in every frame. More colorful than a pride flag. Main character voiced by Ferris Godambula. Forgive me for my sin. Binge bulge. Chad Greek statue pence. Binge Santa Denia. Actually, your parents give you those Christmas presents. Santa isn't real. Christmas is actually a pagan holiday. Chad Santa believer. I have been a good boy this year. I hope Santa gives me a new dumbbell set this year. I hope Santa likes the cookies and milk I prepared for him. Binge Unifix Bulks versus Chad Lego. You either die Chad or live long enough as a Binge. Chad transformation. 2010 to 2021. The Binge canonical romance. Slowly built up by the creators over the course of the show. Fans sent Dell treats for not making the ship canonical. Must abide by the law. Fans aren't happy when their best girl did not win. The Chad shutty fanship. Can be done by anyone. Pressure the creators into making their ship canon. Ruining the show. Not restricted by the law. It can be incest, pedophilia, or even bestability. Can be the losing girls in the harem with the main character. Push for guy ship, even though the characters are straight. Binge Disney. Most of the films are only enjoyable if you're a child. Ducking musicals. Boring and predictable plots. Is running out of ideas so remasters, recycles, old films. Made some pretty recess shut back in the day. Half the film is made up of cringy songs. Disney hated Jews. Takes classic fairy tales and turns them into garbage. Chad Studio Ghibli. Only creates visual masterpieces. Who needs a plot anyway? Miyazaki creates whatever the hell he wants. Films that can be enjoyed by any demographic. Teaches children good morals. Films that can make grown men cry. Angelic soundtracks. Did you actually believe she would date a simp? Who do you think eats all the chocolate you give her? Think, Binge. Think. The Binge in your brain at 3 AM. You're a ducking worthless piece of shit. You achieved nothing in your life and you never will. It's too late to do anything at this point. Nothing you do will matter. You wasted all your life and you will waste the rest of your life too. The Chad your brain at 8 AM. You got this bro. You can do it. Don't ever doubt yourself. You recently started hitting the gym and have been reading a lot of books. You have also been exploring new and interesting hobbies. Love yourself before anyone else does. The lad your brain when taking a shot. I'm very close to uncovering a formula that will allow us to harness the power of dark matter in order to help the human race achieve faster than light space travel, which will speed up the process of finding life on other planets and help us achieve unity with extraterrestrial beings. The Binge based. The Chad based. The Chad gazing upon the true nature of existence. The Binge looking at shadows. The Binge fake taxi. Very sluggish. This guy doesn't know how to drive. He just wants Lex. Likely don't get to listen to the offspring. Very boring ride. Not trustworthy driver. Probably gave you an STD. The Chad crazy taxi. Likely the fastest form of transportation currently known to man. You get to listen to the offspring. Exhilarating experience. You'll remember this trip for the rest of your life. You can trust him with your life. If he was inexperienced, you'd be dead already. Binge pixel art. Chad pixelization. You guys always act like you're better than me. The Chad pink guy. Filthy Frank. Friends with E.T. Smokes and drinks in his videos. Embodiment of everything a person should not be. A reflection of the human microcosm. Missed by many. The Chad Joji. Got backstabbed via arrow. Smokes in his videos. Very emotional. Loved by many. You got a friend in me. Slowly dances in the dark. Was strong enough to part from Filthy Frank. Dear Gin energy drink basically just glorified soda. Very rarely used in cocktails. Very unhealthy. Needs taurine to have any level of caffeine. Ugly can. Tastes weird. Chad espresso. Iconic taste. Has been around for centuries. Used in tons of cocktails, both alcoholic and not. Used in Italian desserts. Naturally occurring caffeine. Dear Gin English teacher. That is Mr. Beergin to you. Hates his students and his job. Adjectives and adverbs are not the same. Can't justify why you need to know romanticism. Boring and useless. Chad school janitor. Able to deadlift the wax machine. Enjoys his work. Danging the school nurse. Friends with all. Gives solid life advice. Hey, Mr. Chad. The Beergin lyrical rapper versus the Chad mumble rapper. Cheatus fritus doritus, yet can't find the clitus. Tries to be different so hard, yet still sounds like every other spiritual miracle lyrical criminal. Edgy 13-year-old that wouldn't grow up. Battles Dargadbeekshire. Yikes. Wears clothes that were cool 10 years ago. Yup, skrrrrtt. Gang. Minus 364,234,423 clicks. Sounds like whatever his producer makes him sound like. Spoiled 10-year-old that wouldn't grow up. Doesn't even battle the Dargadbeekshire. Wears ironic fake brand clothes, but people know they are 10 times the normal price and that's all that matters. Dear Gin normal, elderly doubt. People will consider it less tragic because of his age. Life filled with regrets flashes before his eyes. Goes to hell immediately for masturbating 30,000 times. Not premarital sex obviously. Last few years were prob shut from failing health. Chad infant mortality. People will mourn him for years. Doesn't even know he lived. Doesn't care. Had an absolutely awesome life of tighty snacking and peekaboo. Automatically granted a one-way ticket to heaven as he committed a grand total of 0 sins throughout his life. Dear Gin Mars colonization. Thinks Mars will someday turn out as friendly as Earth from future terraforming projects. Lives for like 1 year on Mars before dying of bone answer. Thin weak atmosphere. Temperature comparable to a cold day in Wisconsin. Will literally never happen. Elon Musk prob fooled you into thinking this is possible for retention. Barely restraining himself from depression caused seaside. Chad Venus seaside mission. Accepts Venus eternal literal manifestation of hell. Can literally swim in the 90 bar air. How cool is that? Huge rush of adrenaline and testosterone. Survives for like 9 minutes maximum before his spacesuit melts and space helmet cracks open cracks. Temperature comparable to sticking your head in a pizza oven. Can easily be done. Only ethics are stopping NASA. Dear Gin Ride mass shooter. Dealt toll includes children. Obsessively planned years in advance. Long boring rambling manifesto. Takes own life like a catty. Blames minorities, women, religion, politics, parents, literally everyone but himself. Chad bulk mass shooter. 1 dead, 14 injured, just catching strays, not bodies. Planned maybe 30 minutes ago improvisational, spontaneous. Shout out to his squad on Instagram Live. Takes the charges, does the time for the chime. Did it over some beef with his cousin. Family first. The Beergin funky town. Beergin is happy and vibing. Memorized all the lyrics. Literally has 2 pairs of headphones on at the same time. Just shows how passionate he is. Even though he doesn't have a girlfriend, he can enjoy and dance to the song alone. Gets to vibe when the song plays in Shrek. The Beergin screenshot. The Chad taking a picture of your screen. The Beergin Anabomber. Targets innocents. Attacks some irrelevant city in the Midwest. Damages but a single building. Mails bombs. Too afraid to come out and deal damage himself. The Chad Keldozer. Only attacks those in power who ruined his life. Builds and pilots own destruction machine. Kills self, not allowing government the pleasure of taking the little life they left him with. Damages and destroys many buildings belonging to his town's corrupt government. Dear Gin full head of hair. Still has his juvenile hairline at 50. Overheated scalp and heat conditions due to excessively thick hair. Women consider bald men more masculine and dominant over him. Might not keep his hairline at old age. might keep it. Costs a lot of money to maintain and style. Will blow half his paycheck on Rogaine if he notices a recession of 0.000001 inches. Resistant follicles of DHT. Not so manly. Brad maturing hairline. Developed the hairline at age 25. Claims to look manly. It's just a maturing hairline. Becomes Chad 20 years later. Angular V-shape gives clean look. Most men can pull off an or would too. Is secretly thinking about a transplant to restore his juvenile hairline. People barely notice it anyway. Chad pattern baldness. Noticed the first signs at age 17. Develops a bad Ace McDonald's hairline. They pay him to sponsor them. Stacy's run their lingers through his thinning hair. Bald spot on back to blind any potential intruders from behind. Hair loss keeps his scalp cool and ensures he absorbs as much vitamin D as possible. Doesn't embrace the bald look. He embraces the power donut look. Will probably stabilize at an Norwood 4 or 5. Follicle sensitive to derivative of testosterone. DHT. Manly. Hair is cheaper to maintain. The beer-chin dragon. Just a myth, because it's too beer-chin to exist. Lives in mountain. Hillbilly. Eats children alive. Boring dark color. Hated by human. Spits fire thinking he's the shut. He's basically not. The Chad Dragonfly. Real deal. Lives wherever he wants. Friendly with children. Can be every color known to man. Loved by everyone. Doesn't need to be able to spit fire to look badass.